Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another video. Today it is Wednesday. How is it Wednesday already? Didn't we just have a weekend? Wasn't it just Monday and we're halfway through the week already? March 22nd, I hope you're having a great day. I seem to make a comment about every day of the week. I don't know why. I'm always surprised at how fast things are moving, but I hope you're having a great day so far. If you could do me a huge favor, please subscribe down below. Hit that button for me. Let's get this thing to 5,000. We're moving quick. We're going to get there before we know it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and let me know what you think about this video. I greatly appreciate it, and I love you guys very, very much. Today, what I'm going to do is another Fat Logic video. So this is Fat Logic Part 2. I've not looked at this yet. I only just went to the website before recording here. So I'm going to react to these blinds. But this should be very, very interesting. They always have some good stuff on here. So let's get started right away. All right, the first one here. On TikTok, For You page, being able to buy trendy, fast fashion is more important than boycotting companies that don't provide living wages to their workers and are destroying the environment. So I guess the image here is me when skinny bitches tell me to stop buying from Sheen, or Sheen, whatever that's pronounced. They are privileged and don't understand the damage a shutdown of Sheen can do to the fat community. Well, one, it's disgusting that there is a fat community out there, whatever that means, anybody in the fat positivity movement. Yes, Sheen is bad, but until clothing industry doesn't go to work on size and Sheen is bad, but until the clothing industry doesn't go work on their size inclusivity and affordability, Sheen will be the only resource of clothing for most fat people. That's just sad reality we live in. I've never even heard of this. There's King Size Direct, there's Beauty, there's all kinds of places out there that create clothing for bigger people. I know because I shop there. There's Big and Tall. There's all kinds of different places out there. So if there is a company that exploits their workers and is bad for the environment, you have to take that into consideration, right? If you have any kind of morality whatsoever to say that, okay, this company provides clothing for bigger people and you need to support that because they do something for the fat community. But those poor exploited workers, oh man, I don't really care about them. They can continue being exploited for my benefit because we need more clothes. We need more fashion. Really? Like, that's sort of hypocritical if you ask me. And that's really, really stupid. All right, the next one here. But I really do feel better. I just feel better when I'm thinner. Is Judgement, Fat Phobia, and the Placebo Effect. Placebo Effect? Really? So the fact that I've lost 170 something pounds right now means absolutely nothing. And the fact that it makes me feel better is a placebo effect. And it's fat phobia saying that I feel better now after losing that weight than when I was at my heaviest. I can actually get up and cook for myself and take the garbage out and contribute to society. I can walk a few feet without being out of breath. I can use the bathroom unobstructed. I could stand and take a shower for the first time in years. Like, all that is just a placebo effect? Are you really that stupid? So, unpopular opinion, just sort of reading this down below. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it. I don't know how to make it bigger. I'm still tech ignorant sometimes, but I'll read this for you. Is that belief in your head? How long have you been alive? That is how many days you've been indoctrinated to believe that being thin will solve all your problems, emotional and physical. That is how many days that belief has existed unchecked in your head. Without serious work, unlearning fat phobia, unlearning all those beliefs from the medical establishment, and unlearning your current dysfunctional relationship with your body, a trusting relationship with how your body actually feels is not possible. For example, personally, I know that when I take acetaminophen with the brand name Tylenol, I feel better quicker. That's the placebo effect of that name brand for me. That is the strength of that belief in my head. Science says I'm wrong. Science also says that if you move your body, feed it what and how it wants to eat, learn self-compassion and self-acceptance, and stop dieting, your body has a damn good chance of feeling better in all sorts of ways. Thinness not required. So Do you believe that you feel better thin, or do you feel better when you partake of behaviors that honor and enrich your body's life emotionally and physically? That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard on the internet. This last part is particularly taking. Science also says that if you move your body, feed it what and how it wants to eat, learn self-compassion, self-acceptance, and stop dieting, your body has a damn good chance of feeling better in all sorts of ways. Feeding it what it wants? No, that's not true at all. Anytime that I ate whatever I wanted to eat, I felt sick. I felt bloated. I felt like crap. Like, yeah, I got that little hit of dopamine for a little bit, but then my blood sugar crashed, and then I started feeling bad and bloated and guilty for eating what I wanted to eat. Like, no. Like, I don't know where you get all this science from that tells you this, but it's absolutely ridiculous. Says a person who has never been thin a day in their entire lives. How would they know? Because anyone who has been both fat and thin during their lifetime will tell you invariably that yes, being thin does make you feel better. Physically, emotionally, mentally, in every way. That's the truth that no one wants to face. That's 100% true. I applaud Michelle Antonia here. It's true. I mean, my sister's told me this before, and it was very striking to me when she said it. She goes, "You've never been thin your entire life. You don't even know what it's like to be a normal-sized person." And when I say thin, I'm not saying ultimate thinness is the goal here. That's not the point. I try to say that as often as I can because people come in the comments and say I'm just chilling out for thinness. No, I'm not chilling out for thinness. If you're 5'10", 15 pounds overweight, it's no big deal. I'm not trying to say everybody needs to be thin. I'm not trying to say we need to give in to current body standards and beauty standards. That's not my point here. I will never be that person. I don't care about modern beauty standards. I don't care to look the way other people tell me I need to look. That's not what it's about at all. So when I say thinness here, I'm saying in my mind it's just the average normal person. So maybe I need to do a better job of differentiating what that means. So let's say normal sized. I've never been normal sized. I've been overweight as long as I can remember since I was 5 years old. So that's just something that I've been through, and I don't know what it's like to be a normal size. I've always dealt with obesity. I've always dealt with the consequences of it. I've always dealt with people looking at me differently, treating me differently, not even being able to travel on an airplane. And I was actually watching a video from Foodie Beauty today, and I was going to do a video on it, but I'm like, this is kind of boring. She's boring me. Not very interesting. But she talks about how, you know, she needs to take up as much space as possible, and she tells everybody, you need to make sure you take up as much space as possible. It's like, really? Like, you don't really care about the comfort of other people, that even though you can't fit in an airline seat, that you just need to take up as much space as possible. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous, the lies that these people believe. But if you've never been smaller, if you've never been a normal size, you have no idea what it feels like. You don't. And as somebody who's lost over 170 pounds now, it feels amazing. It feels amazing to be this much smaller. And I got a long way to go. I can't wait to see what it feels to actually be able to go for a run, if I'll ever be able to run. I don't know if my knees are permanently damaged or not. To go for a long walk and not be winded, to do all sorts of things that I cannot do right now. I mean, it's just, I can't wait for that moment. I'm just reading another comment. You realize how used to feeling shitty you get. You just chalk it up to aging or whatever, and you adapt. That's why they hate ex-fats so much. They constantly remind them that weight loss actually is possible. That life is better when not 300 pounds. That illnesses such as type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure could be cured with weight loss and a healthy lifestyle. I'm 5'4", and my highest weight was only 200 pounds. Today I'm 130 pounds, and my life has turned incredibly better. Imagine going from 400 to half. That's true. I mean, they're just playing this up in their mind that they're happy and they're healthy the way they are, and they get angry at ex-fats. Why? because they're jealous. They see them living a better life. They see them looking better and feeling better and having a better life overall. And they absolutely hate it, and they're jealous. They hate before and after pictures. They don't like to see how you used to be fat, how you absolutely appalled feeling that way, and you feel and look so much better now, and you're happy for it. And they hate to see you happy as an ex-fat. God forbid we want to move a little during the day. I keep getting ads for folding treadmills under a standing desk. Not only do we have to work constantly, but we also have to stand and walk the whole time too. We will never be good enough for capitalism. Unsubscribe. Alright, this is not as bad, but let's look at the comments. Does this person realize there are jobs that require a worker to stand and walk all day as a normal part of the job? Okay, I see what this is talking about. So someone obviously has a sitting job, which I currently do, sitting, because I can't stand up on my feet all day. But I'm actually looking forward to a job where I can actually get up and work and do stuff. Yeah, you gotta get up, you gotta walk, you gotta, I don't know, if you're a stalker at a grocery store, you gotta pick up products and move it, or if you're working somewhere else, I don't know. Like most jobs, I don't think are office jobs. There are all kinds of different jobs out there. And yes, there are a lot of people who have to stand up, who actually have to walk, who actually have to carry things, who actually have to do something. So for them to just get frustrated that not only do we have to walk constantly, but also have to stand and walk the whole time too. Oh no! Shock space. You have to stand and walk while working. We will never be good enough for capitalism. Oh man, some people are just lazy, just plain lazy. Conversation ideas. For when your child asks, why is that person fat? Fat is how our body stores energy. Each person's body uses and stores energy differently. That's why people come in all shapes and sizes. Fat cells are a part of our body. They cushion our organs and keep us warm and store energy for us. Some people have more fat cells. Some people have less fat cells. Some people's fat cells are bigger. Some people's fat cells are smaller. But people with more fat cells are discriminated against and stigmatized in healthcare jobs and every other area of society. If we want our kids to be healthy no matter what their size, and we want them to recognize weight stigma and work against it, we'll have to change the way we talk about fat. This is absurd. Absurd. If you want your kids to be healthy, then you got to take out that no matter what size part. Because listen, if your kids are fat, they're not healthy. They are more predisposed to all kinds of illnesses and diseases and diabetes and heart problems later on in life and everything else. Your kid is not healthy being fat. So if you want your kids to be healthy, you need to talk about fat as a negative thing because it is negative. Fat doesn't cushion your organs. Maybe in some ways, in some aspects it does, but it's literally choking your organs. We talked about this in another video, how your liver becomes choked with fat and it stops working as efficiently and it leads to cirrhosis, which is a very, very painful way to die. I mean, it's just stupid the way these people think. Keeps us warm. Well, as a fat person, I don't mind going out in the winter time with shorts on. It doesn't bother me so much. But guess what? Most of what makes you feel cold or hot is in your skin. It's in your skin. It's not below the skin. Your skin feels the cold. I still feel cold. I still feel it. It's not like I can just go outside and be perfectly fine. I still feel cold. Yeah, it keeps your organs and stuff warm. You don't have to worry about maybe freezing to death. I don't know, but you could still lose a finger. You could still get frostbite. You could still get all sorts of things. It doesn't keep you warm in that degree. You still feel cold on your skin, which is above your fat. Stupid. Some people's fat cells are bigger and some fat cells are smaller. Well, if you have bigger fat cells, it's because you eat so much that your fat cells keep getting bigger and bigger. It's not just some natural phenomenon that, oh, some people were born with bigger fat cells and some people were born with smaller fat cells and that's just the way they are. No, Everybody's fat cells are the same. A fat cell is a fat cell. There's no discrimination. Some people are not born with bigger and some with smaller. That's not how it works. If you have bigger fat cells, it's because you eat so much that your body stores more in those cells, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't even think that it gets bigger and bigger. I mean, it gets to a certain size, and then it starts developing another fat cell, and that gets bigger until it gets to a certain size. And so the bigger you are, the more fat cells you have, because your body keeps finding new places to try to store fat. But people with more fat cells are discriminated against and stigmatized in healthcare, jobs, and every other area of society. Well, I mean, if you weren't so big and didn't struggle to breathe, didn't struggle to walk 5 feet, then maybe people would consider you a better option for employment. I mean, I'm dealing with that right now. I talk often about how I struggle financially. I don't get a lot of work. I wish I could go next door where Meijer is across the street, which is a big chain grocery store here in the Midwest. They have stocking jobs and stuff like that. I've been looking at those jobs. I'm waiting for the day I can actually lose enough weight I can go stand on my feet and work if I have to. I'm ready for that. I'm excited for that. I want a stable income, which I do not have right now. I'm tired of struggling to pay my bills. I'm tired of worrying about whether or not I'm going to make rent or if my internet's going to get shut off and then I can't work at all. Like, there's a lots of worries that come with being fat. And I know it's something that I did to myself. I'm not discriminated against. I literally can't do a job that I want to do. I can't stand on my feet 8 hours a day. I don't consider it discrimination because I did it to myself. And I perfectly understand a boss that wouldn't be willing to hire me because I couldn't do the job. Stupid people. My cats employ fatlogic every morning when they sing for breakfast. Alright, this should be funny. If you're confused about why animal people advocate for keeping your pets at a healthy weight, but sometimes also in the same breath will advocate against a human diet culture, it's because we know that the body condition a cat is supposed to be at optimally, but literally, there is not one for humans as far as we can tell. Humans are weird, opportunistic, hyper-adaptable, and variable primate, and we have evolved to have a lot of variety in size, shape, metabolism, and weight retention. This has been essential to survival in hard times and easy times. And you know the thing that people talk about sometimes, about how half the population are night people and about half are morning people, and we'd be better able to watch at night as a group. Yeah, weight variation is like that. There's a lot of latent variation in human populations because as a community, we survive significantly better if some of us are effing ready to not die during the long-ass winter of death. And some of us can eat their weight in fish and then run a mile immediately after. This is also why some people gain muscle crazy fast and some people don't. Muscle requires a lot of energy, and some people are built to gain a lot during a plentiful season and be really efficient then, and some people are built to use less energy over time and be more useful during a long hungry period. Cats and almost all other vertebrates simply don't have this kind of complex community variation built in and tend to be much more uniform in build and weight. Humans tend to be really variable in body and brain, and that's one of the biggest factors that's made us to be so successful. There are just a lot of ways to be a human being. All of the science on ideal human condition, body condition, we have at the moment is almost entirely bullshit and was done by white supremacists for eugenics purposes. It's just not something we know, and right now there's significantly more evidence that there is no ideal body type for everyone to reach. Recent research indicates that humans are healthiest at a variety of weights and builds, and dieting is almost universally bad for you, even if the culture hasn't caught up yet. Oh, this is another dumb post, another dumb one. The way you talk about how people put on muscle mass and stuff like that. Listen, if you started working out and working your muscles and you did the research behind it and knew how to build muscle, you too could build muscle. There's not a single person on this planet, unless you have a rare disease, who cannot build muscle and become a bodybuilder type if you didn't want to be that. But you got to put in the work. A lot of those bodybuilders, they consider it a full-time job to work out and be healthy and do that. And some of them are just so big, I don't think it is healthy being that big full of muscle, but hey, they do them, right? You know, if that's what you want to be, then that's what you want to be. But it's considered a full-time job. They work out, they do it constantly. They wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like The Rock, we saw him get bigger. I used to, when I watch wrestling, I see him, he was much smaller, but he's still pretty muscular. And when he got out of wrestling, he started working out even more, and he got even bigger and full of muscle. Like, he wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning and works out and spends hours a day doing it. Like, if you want to look like that, if you want to look like The Rock, you can do it. You can do it. But to say some people are just naturally fatter and they store energy differently, listen, if you eat a lot of food, you're going to store a lot of energy. Like that's how it works. And yeah, our bodies were built to, if we eat so many carbohydrates and sugars and stuff like that, our body stores it for later. Like, our body didn't burn off that amount of carbohydrates, so it stores it for later, stored energy. That's how it works, and it was a survival mechanism in the past. Because a lot of people, that's what all the harvest festivals and stuff are in the fall. Like, we get the harvest, we eat a lot, we prepare for a long haul winter. We gain a lot of weight in the harvest season because winter can be harsh. But today, our society has gotten more sedentary, more office jobs, more people sitting around doing nothing, more people on social media and on the computer, more people playing video games rather than getting out and working in the field. So guess what? We eat way more than they ever did. We eat constantly. We have more variety in food. We have fast food on every corner. And we eat that junk constantly. We eat a day's worth of calories in a single meal. And then we go home and we play video games all day. And so, yeah, we pack that extra energy in. We keep packing that energy in. There aren't cultures more adapted to gaining fat than others. Maybe if you're an Eskimo or something, and yeah, you eat a lot of fish and you prepare yourself by gaining weight or something like that. I don't know, but they're some of the healthiest people on the planet. And they're fit. And they work. People who work in the field and stuff like that, yeah, they can eat a lot of carbohydrates because they go off in the field and they burn it. So this sort of thing is just stupid, that some people are just naturally fat. There's nothing you can do about it. Some people are naturally fat. Others are naturally skinny. They burn differently. Yeah, there's different metabolisms, but all the science on ideal body condition. Well, first of all, your whole example using cats. Cats can be fat. I've seen plenty of fat cats in my lifetime. I've seen plenty of skinny cats as well. There is a normal size. Just like for humans, there's a normal size. That's what the whole BMI chart is, which you call racist. The BMI chart tells you that at your height, you should be at this weight. So there is a normal size for your height that you should be. That is the ideal weight that you should be. But you just completely dismiss it because it doesn't fit your ideal. So yeah, there is a certain size you should be according to your height. That's called the BMI chart. So everything you just said is complete BS. Everything. All right, we'll do one more, and then I'll let you guys go for the day. There have been so many conspiracies around thin people. Do they think thin folks make up more than 27% of the U.S. population? The support for weight loss as a so-called healthcare intervention is driven and supported by the predominantly thin people who are profiting from it and harming the fat people from whom those profits are extracted. I don't get this at all. Because there are way more people profiting from fat people than there are from thin people. Like, there's an entire sugar industry, believe it or not. A sugar industry that makes profits off of you getting fatter. Literally, there is. Okay? I don't know about this thin industry, But you would think that the healthcare professionals, if they were so driven by money, that they would like you to be fat. They would tell you to eat more carbohydrates. They would tell you to eat more sugar. They would tell you to get fat because they eventually make more money treating you than if they tried to get you to be thin. So you absolutely have no idea what you're talking about. Who makes money from healthcare intervention is driven and supported by the predominantly thin people. Predominantly thin people who know the science and know the research and know that being obese causes illnesses. Like, seriously? They understand the science, and so they keep themselves thin but a normal weight for a reason, because they know what the research says. And they're not hypocrites about it. So just because somebody is thin doesn't mean that their science is flawed for some reason. Just like I said in yesterday's video, they were like, or was it Fat Sapphic Bro who said it? No, it was somebody, it was the lady I did in yesterday's video. That all these white, thin people, men, are doing this science and research, and my body is different. Like, it somehow does not compute along with what these men are saying. It's like, how dumb can you be? Like, there are plenty of black people who are scientists, and Asians who are scientists, and Native Americans who are scientists, and every single race can be scientists and see the science and see what it means to be obese, the consequences that come with it, the natural consequences to being obese. Nobody is profiting from thinness. Everybody is profiting from fatness. McDonald's is one of the biggest corporations in the entire world. Billions and billions and billions of dollars made from obese people. And not everybody who goes to McDonald's is obese. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, they've made billions of dollars off of obesity. So has Burger King and Taco Bell, all these other billion-dollar corporations. Every soda company out there has made billions of dollars profiting from sugar addiction. Nobody profits from thinness. I guess they might be talking about, like, these certain drug companies that try to sell this fat cure or something like that. Like, here's a fat loss tool, but those are few and far between compared to the major corporations that make a profit off of making people fatter. But I like this last line here, and harming the fat people from whom those profits are extracted. You don't think the companies that profit off of obesity are harming fat people by making them fatter? You don't really think that? Oh, man. People who are trying to get you to be thin and be healthy are the ones who are harming you, not the people who are making you fatter. This stuff is just dumb. This is driving me crazy. I'm going to stop right here, guys. If you have anything to say about this, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Leave a like. And subscribe if you've not done so. Also, check out my description. There's all kinds of links in there. We have over 100 people who have joined our Discord so far. So if you want to be a part of the Big T Bariatric family and you want to find a good place to just hang out with us, talk about some stuff, I'm in there. I try to post at least every day. Come and join us. There's links for my PayPal and my Patreon if you want to become a financial supporter. Help us raise some money to get some stuff to make better videos. There's links to my Facebook and my Twitter, social media, and then my email, bigtbariatric@gmail.com. If you have any requests that you would like me to do, send me an email. Do not leave it in the comments. People leave comments for requests all the time, and I lose it because as soon as I see it, it's out of my view, so I can't go back to it and whatever. So send me an email. That's a better way to send me a request. I really appreciate all you guys. I love you guys very much. God bless you.